Namaste children. Today we are going to start with block number 20, motion and time. The main aim for making this video is to understand the different motions observed in daily life and the working of the simple pendulum. So let's start. Before starting, there are some scientific words which are used in this block, that are speed, non-uniform motion, oscillation, simple pendulum, time period, average speed, digital clock, Asian devices. So let's start towards our main topic, that is the motion. Motion is the change in position of an object with time. If an object changes its position with respect to time, that means that object is in motion. And if the object do not change its position and the time is running out, that means that object is in rest. There are various types of motion which you have studied in the 6th standard also. Let's recall them. If an object is moving in a straight line, it is a rectilinear motion. And there are several more motions like the periodic motion, circular motion. Some examples are also there that you have studied in the 6th standard. We are going to talk about the fast and the slow motion. You can see the picture also, the picture of person's motion and a car motion. If we compare these two motion, we can see that the person motion is moving slow as compared to the car's motion. Why we are telling them slow? Because they take lot of time to cover the distance. If we compare the distance covered by them, the time taken by the person's motion is larger than the time taken by the car to complete a specific distance. So we can compare their motions by comparing the distance they have covered in a particular time. If we take the example of bicycle and that of train, we can say that the speed of the train is faster. I am using the word here speed. So we are going to talk about the speed in this topic only. First of all, we are going to talk about the fast and slow motion and objects that take longer time to cover a certain distance. If an object is taking larger time to cover a particular distance, that means it is moving at a slow motion. An object that takes less time to cover the same distance is said to be fast motion. If the object is moving fast and take less time to cover a particular distance, that means it is moving at a faster rate. Now let's talk about the speed, the second portion after the motion, that is the speed. The distance covered by an object in a unit time is called the speed of an object. If the object, how much time it is taking to cover a particular distance, that is known as speed. For example, if a car covers distance of 100 kilometers in 1 hour and a bus cover distance of 50 kilometers in 1 hour, then the speed of the car is more than the speed of the bus. We can calculate that how much distance has been covered by a particular object in a given time. That is how we can calculate the speed of an object. Since the speed in most objects is not constant, the speed is the average speed. If the object is not moving in a uniform speed, now a new word is there, that is the uniform and non-uniform motion. We are going to talk it about. Speed, the formula of the speed is total distance covered upon total time taken. Total distance covered upon time taken, that is the formula of the speed. Now the motion which is in your course, that is the uniform motion and non-uniform motion. If the speed of an object is constant, it is known as uniform motion. If an object is covering the same distance at the same speed, if an object is covering the same distance at a constant speed, it is not changing its speed, that means that object is moving in a uniform motion. If an object changes its speed and the time is running out and an object changes its speed, that is known as non-uniform motion. If the speed of an object keeps changing, sometimes its speed becomes higher, sometimes the speed become lower of an object, that means it is not moving in a uniform motion, it is moving in non-uniform motion. So let's check it out, the formula of this speed. Various formulas are there. The distance formula, the time formula can be calculated by the speed only. So we have to remember only the formula of this speed. Speed is equal to distance upon time. We can calculate the formula of distance also. Cross multiply, distance is equal to speed into time. And we can calculate the formula of time also from the speed, that is time is equal to distance upon speed. Now how we can calculate the average speed? If the object is not moving at a constant speed, we have to calculate the total distance. The distance, various distances we might be having if the object is not moving in a uniform motion, various distances might be there. So we have to cover the total, add all total distances, and we have to add all time. That is how we can calculate the average speed. So the next topic in this video, we are going to take about the pendulum. That is the new topic which is in your syllabus, that is the pendulum. So let's start with the pendulum. If we talk about the simple pendulum, it works on a motion, that is the periodic motion. So the question arises, what is simple pendulum? A simple pendulum consists of a small bob. You can see a small metal ball which is known as a bob. A small metal ball called bob suspended by a long thread. You can see the thread suspended by the long thread from a rigid support. You can see the rigid support on the top, such that the bob is free to move or to swing back and forth. Back and forth means back and forward, means from O to A and B. If a simple pendulum is suspended by a rigid support and it is free to move from its mean position to A and B, that is known as simple pendulum. So some of the terms are associated with the simple pendulum. We are going to talk about those terms. First of all, we are going to talk about the length of the pendulum. The length of the string thread. You can see the thread that is from the rigid support to the bob. The length of the string from the point of suspension to the center of the bob. From the point of suspension, you can see the rigid support till the center of the bob, that is known as the length of the simple pendulum. The next definition is about the next term which is associated with the simple pendulum is the mean position. When the bob is at rest and it is not moving, it is at rest. The position of the bob, when it is at rest, it is not moving, you can see the position of the bob at A, mean position, that is known as mean position. When it is at rest, it is not moving, that is known as the mean position of the bob. Let's talk about the extreme position. Extreme position, the position where the bob is at its maximum distance, when the bob covers its maximum distance, when the bob moves back and forth to and fro, the maximum distance covered by the bob is known as its extreme position. You can see that the position of C and B, when we move the bob from its mean position, it moves to A and B. So C and B are its extreme position. Let's talk about the oscillation of the simple pendulum. The oscillation, one complete to and fro motion of the bob from its mean position. One complete to and fro motion. To and fro motion from its mean position means A to C, C to B, and again B to A. When the full oscillation is completed from A to C, C to B, and again B to A. The one complete to and fro motion of the bob from its mean position. From its mean position, the bob is covering all the extreme positions, that is known as one oscillation. Let's talk about the amplitude. Amplitude, the maximum displacement of the bob from its mean position. The maximum displacement of the bob from its mean position means the distance from A to C and A to B. That is the main displacement of the bob from its mean position. A to C and A to B, that is known as amplitude. Next is the time period of the pendulum. Time period means the time taken by the pendulum to complete one oscillation. The time taken by the pendulum to complete one oscillation is known as time period of the pendulum. These are the few terms related to the simple pendulum. Let's move. I have explained you what is oscillatory motion. Oscillatory motion means the movement of the bob from its mean position to and fro. Motion of a pendulum is known as a periodic, or you can say the oscillatory motion. The to or fro motion is the main point. You have to add to and fro motion of an object from its mean position is known as oscillatory or the periodic motion. Some of the terms are added here, that is the oscillation, what is oscillation and what is time period. We have discussed it all. Now the next term is how we can calculate. One numerical, some numericals are also there, how we can calculate the time period of a simple pendulum. First of all, we should know the formula of the time period, which is given in your book also on page number 145. The time period of the simple pendulum is total time taken upon total number of oscillation. Time period is equal to total time taken upon total number of oscillation. If a simple pendulum, for example, if a simple pendulum takes 32 seconds to complete 20 oscillations, 32 seconds to complete 20 oscillations, that means we have to divide 32 by 20. You will get the answer in seconds, that is 1.6 second. Means you have to put the formula, that is total time taken. Total time taken is 32 seconds and divide by number of oscillation, that is 20. When you divide 32 by 20, you will get the answer in seconds, that is 1.6 second. That is how we can calculate the simple time. We can calculate the time period of a simple pendulum. Now in the next you can see the measurements of time. We uses various devices to measure the time, that is we are using in the modern era. We are using the various types of clocks, we are using various types of watches to measure the periodic motion, or we can note the time by using these devices. Now there are some units which is very important to note down the time and speed. First of all, you should know what is the SI unit, International Standard Unit. The SI unit of time is seconds. The larger unit in time can be minutes, it can be hours, but you have to measure the time in seconds. The basic unit of speed is meter per second. The SI unit of speed is meter per second. We can calculate the speed in kilometer per hour also. Some ancient devices that are used to measure time are, in ancient times when there are no clocks, when there are no watches, which devices we were using, that were the sundial, water clocks and sand clocks. These were some of the devices that we are using in the ancient time. Last topic we can conclude. Last topic we can use, that is the speedometer and the odometer. Speedometer is a device which is used to measure the speed of a vehicle, how much speed the vehicle is moving at a particular time, in which speed we are moving the vehicle. That is calculated by the speedometer. It is present on the dashboard of each and every vehicle. Now odometer is a device which measures the distance covered by a vehicle, how much the distance from the time of purchasing till now, how much distance we have covered. That is also measured by an instrument that is known as odometer. It is also present on the dashboard on each and every vehicle. So these are the main points related to block number 20. I hope this video is beneficial for you. Thank you.